You know how in K-pop there are a lot of amazing dancers, right, bestie? Like genuinely incredible ones. Sharp, fast, technically perfect. Every group has that one member people point to and say, yeah, that's the dancer. But somehow, whenever people start talking about the dancing machine of K-pop, one name almost always shows up in the conversation. Lisa, and bestie, it's not just because she can execute choreography perfectly. The K-pop industry is filled with idols who are technically excellent dancers. They train for years, they rehearse endlessly, and they learn how to hit every beat with precision. So if everyone is technically skilled, why does Lisa stand out so much? That's the interesting part. What makes Lisa different isn't just her ability to dance. It's the way she approaches dancing. When you watch her perform, it doesn't look like she's constantly calculating how people will react. It doesn't look like she's worried about whether the audience is impressed enough. She moves like someone who already feels at home on stage, like someone who isn't trying to prove she belongs there. And bestie, that level of comfort is actually very rare. Because most performers, and honestly most people in everyday life, spend a lot of time inside their own heads. They're thinking about how they look, what people might say, whether they're standing out enough, or whether they're doing something wrong. And all of those thoughts create pressure. That pressure makes people tense. It makes them overthink. It makes them move more cautiously than they normally would. But when Lisa performs, that tension isn't really there. Her movements feel natural, relaxed, confident. And the reason for that isn't magic. It's preparation. Before the world knew her name, Lisa spent years training. Long practice days, endless rehearsals, repeating choreography again and again until every movement became second nature. Learning musicality, learning how to control her energy, learning how to adapt to different styles. Imagine practicing the same routine dozens of times in a single day. Imagine correcting the smallest details, the angle of your hand, the timing of a step, the strength of a movement. That's the kind of discipline idol training requires. And Lisa went through all of it while being far from home, living in a different country, chasing a dream that wasn't guaranteed. That environment could easily overwhelm someone. But for Lisa, it became the place where she built her foundation, skill, confidence, and resilience. So when she steps on stage today, she isn't relying on luck. Her body already understands the language of dance. Her muscles remember the hours of training. And that's what creates that effortless feeling people talk about. Bestie, one of the biggest misconceptions about confidence is that people think it's something you're born with, like some people are just naturally fearless. But most of the time, confidence isn't natural. It's built. It comes from repetition, from practice, from slowly proving to yourself that you can handle challenges. When you practice something enough, you begin to trust yourself. You stop questioning every move you make. And instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you can focus on expressing yourself. That's exactly what Lisa's performances feel like. She isn't just completing choreography. She's playing with it, adding her own flavor, adding personality. Sometimes it's a small facial expression. Sometimes it's the way she emphasizes a beat in the music. Sometimes it's the way she transitions smoothly between movements. Those small details make a performance feel alive. And that's why people are drawn to her on stage, because they're not just watching technique. They're watching someone who genuinely enjoys what she's doing. And when someone truly enjoys their craft, it shows. That kind of passion becomes magnetic. It makes people curious. It makes them want to watch more closely. That's why Lisa can stand out even when she's performing with other talented artists. Her energy isn't about competing, it's about expressing. Her presence says something simple, I love this, not, I hope this is good enough. And honestly, bestie, that mindset isn't just useful for dancers. It's something that can apply to almost anything in life. A lot of people hold themselves back because they're afraid of judgment. They worry about looking embarrassing, they worry about criticism, and they worry that they're not skilled enough yet. And those worries slowly stop them from even trying. But here's the truth. Nobody becomes great by waiting until they feel confident. Nobody becomes skilled by sitting around hoping talent will magically appear. People become good at things by practicing when nobody is watching, by improving slowly, by accepting that the beginning will probably be messy, because growth rarely looks perfect. When Lisa first started training, she wasn't instantly the dancing machine of K-pop. She had to learn, improve, adapt, and keep going even when things were difficult. That's the part people sometimes forget when they see successful performers. They see the polished stage version. They see the confident performer. But they don't always see the years of effort that built that moment. And that effort matters. Because once someone puts in that level of work, something interesting happens. They stop trying to prove themselves. They don't need constant validation anymore. They know how much time they invested. They know what they're capable of. That's the quiet confidence you see when Lisa performs. It isn't arrogance. It isn't showing off. It's simply the natural result of preparation. The calm energy of someone who trusts their abilities, understands their craft, and knows the real work happened long before the spotlight appeared. So, bestie, if there's one lesson to take from Lisa's mindset, it's this. Instead of spending so much energy worrying about what other people think, focus on building your skills. Focus on improving at the things you care about. Practice more than you perform. Fall in love with the work that happens when nobody is watching. Because that's where real confidence grows, not from applause, not from likes, but from effort, consistency, and showing up again and again until something that once felt difficult starts to feel natural. And once you reach that point, something changes. You stop chasing attention. You stop feeling like you have to prove yourself every second. You simply show up and do what you love. Calm, focused, comfortable, and that kind of presence is powerful. It's the same energy people notice when they watch Lisa perform. The calm confidence that makes audiences understand almost instantly why so many people call her the dancing machine of K-pop. Not because she tries to convince people, but because she built the skills that speak for themselves. And bestie, that kind of confidence, the quiet kind that comes from real effort, is something anyone can build. It just takes time, patience, and the willingness to keep practicing, even on the days when nobody is clapping yet. And bestie, that's actually the most powerful part of this whole story. Lisa didn't become unforgettable because she was chasing attention. She became unforgettable because she was chasing improvement. Day after day, practice after practice, little by little. And when someone focuses on growth that deeply, the results eventually speak louder than any words ever could. That's why when Lisa steps on stage, it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural, like someone doing exactly what they were meant to do. So if you ever feel like you're not confident enough yet, remember this, bestie. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. One practice session, one small improvement, one brave step at a time. And one day, without even realizing it, you might look back and notice that the thing that once scared you is now the thing you move through calm, focused, and completely in your element. Just like Lisa,